Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. In this video, I want to show you my solution to one of the questions on AlgoExpert. So this afternoon, I was thinking whether I should subscribe to this, and I came upon the free question that was allowed, that was given on this website. So I thought, why not, let's give it a go. And this question, surprisingly, is an easy question, or rather it falls under the easy category. And I thought I should be able to solve that within 15 minutes or less. But it took me, I'm embarrassed to say this, more than an hour. All right, but anyway, I want to share with you my thought process, the embarrassment as well, and finally the solution to resolving this. Okay, so let's come to the question itself, and the name of the question is called validate subsequence, and difficulty is green. It's easy. All right, so let's read through the question and let's try to find out how to resolve this. Okay, so given two non-empty arrays of integer, write a function that determines whether the second array is a subsequence of the first one. All right, so we know that there are two arrays over here, integer arrays. We need to write some kind of function to determine if the second array is a subsequence of the first one. So let's try to understand what does a subsequence mean. All right, a subsequence of an array is a set of numbers, or rather an integer array, that aren't necessarily adjacent in the array, but that are in the same order as they appear in the array. It sounds like a bit of a mouthful over here, but what it means, okay, there are some examples over here. 1, 3, 4 is a subsequence of this array 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because they are in the same order as they appear in the array. Okay, so 1 is over here, 3 is over here, 4 is over here. If this array is 1, 4, 2, 3, then this will not be a subsequence anymore. Okay, so another example would be this one over here. So sample input. Okay, so this array 5, 1, 22, 25, 6, negative 1, 8, 10, and this is the sequence 1, 6, negative 1, 10. So this is a subsequence of the array here. Why is that so? It's because 1 is over here, and then 6 is on the right of 1, and negative 1 is on the right of 6, and 10 is on the right of negative 1. All right, I hope you get that. All right, so this is the part whereby we this is a template class for us to add our solution. All right, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just copy this and put that inside the Xcode playground because it provides us with autocomplete. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to bring this in over here. Okay, so we have the array over here, and this is the sequence over here, and this is the part whereby we add our logic. Okay, so when I first saw this question, my first impression is that, okay, most coding questions have to do with nested loops. All right, we have to write an array, and then within the array, we loop through another array, and then we do some kind of checking, and we might have to pop some elements out. We might have to be concerned with space-time complexity, right? Okay, so after brute forcing with that idea for some time, which failed terribly, I came up with a better solution, which is to use the pointer system. Okay, so let me explain to you the high level understanding of the pointer system. Okay, so what we're going to do is that instead of looping through two array, we're only technically looping through one array, which is this first array over here. Okay, so what we want to do is that we want to ensure, okay, so how do we know if this is a subsequence? Number one, this elements over here must be contained inside this array. All right, that's the first condition, and the second condition is that they must appear in the order, okay, of this sequence over here. So how the pointer system works is that we're going to check the first element within this sequence. Okay, so we are checking for 1 inside this array. So let's loop through this one over here. We're going to say, hey, first element inside this array, okay, is this 1? And the answer is no, it's not 1. So let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Is this 1? Yes, it is 1. So if this is 1, what we are going to do is that we are no longer interested in checking for 1 anymore. We want to check for 6. All right, so we're going to move the pointer to the second element over here, and then we're going to check here. Is this 6? No, this is not 6. Let's move to the next one. Is this 6? No, it's not. Let's move to the next one. Is this 6? Yes, it is 6. Then what we're going to do is that we're going to move our pointer to the third element over here, which is negative 1. So we're going to check is this -1? Yes, it is. So it's fulfilled. Then now we are interested to check for 10. All right. So we move the pointer next to index 3, which is the fourth element, number 10. So we're going to check, is this 10? No, it's not 10. Finally, the last one, is this 10? Yes. If this is 10, we're going to check if the pointer is number 4, all right? Because if the pointer is number 4, that means we have traversed through all the entire sequence over here, which means that this sequence is a subsequence of the array. All right, this is the high-level understanding in words. So let's put that into code, okay? So the first thing I want to do is let's declare a variable over here. So I'm going to say is valid, and we're going to set this to be false, all right? So we are going to write our condition over here to prove otherwise that this is valid, okay? So what we're going to do is that I'm going to use a for loop. So for I in 0 array.count. Okay, so we're going to loop through this array over here, and then we are going to check against this elements inside sequence. And how do we do that? We're going to use a pointer system, all right? So var pointer, this is 0, okay? And then so how are we going to check for that? We're going to check this first element inside this array, and we're going to do it this way. If array I equals to, okay, so we're going to check against this one over here. So how do we do that? We have the sequence, so I'm going to use sequence. Okay, we're going to have the pointer, all right, because the pointer is going to move. Okay, so if this is correct, then I'm no longer interested in checking for 1 anymore. I want to check for 6 this time, all right? So I'm going to do pointer plus equals to 1, all right? And then we're going to traverse through all the elements inside the array over here, okay? Checking against these elements over here. And then finally, I'm going to say if pointer equals to 4, right? Because we know that there are 4 elements over here. So it's going to start from 0. Okay, if it's true, it's going to move by 1. Okay, so let me just write this over here. So 0 at the start, right? So if this is true, we have a match, we're going to plus 1. If 6 is true, we're going to plus 1 as well. If -1 is found, we're going to plus 1 as well. Is this correct? Wait, sorry. 0, if 1 is 6, and then if -1 is going to plus 1 as well. If 10 is present, we're going to plus 1 as well. And then we want to check whether the pointer is 4, all right? And we can, I mean, rather than doing it this way, what we can do is that we can say if pointer equals to sequence, sequence.count, okay, then we know that definitely that this is a subsequence, and therefore we will modify this is valid, this variable over here. We're going to set this to be true, and then we're going to break this, okay, because we no longer need to check anymore, because we know that all these elements are contained inside this array and they are in sequence, okay? So that's basically the solution, guys. Believe it or not, this is yep. Okay, so let's do it this way. So let result equals to program dot is valid sequence, valid subsequence, and I'm going to pass in the array. So I'm going to type in array, and I'm going to pass in the sequence over here. So let's just print out to see if this is true, because we're expecting this to be true. All right, so I'm just going to hit the play button over here, and let's let Xcode do its thing. But sometimes Xcode is a bit, I don't know, slow. All right, so true. Okay, so you know this alone might not be the best way, because there could be some edge cases and there could be several test cases. So the best way to find that out is to put that into the website, because it actually checks against all the various test cases. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the whole thing over here, okay, and then just bring that out, and then I'm just going to paste that here first, so you can see this is the one that is being provided for. So return true. So this is all our logic inside over here, right? So let's remove that. Okay, so let's hit the submit code, and let's wait for some good news. Okay, all right, so your submission passed all of our test cases. All right, guys, I hope that this video was helpful, and I hope that you learned something from it. And if you think that this is the kind of video that, if these are the kind of videos that you like to watch, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to make more of them. All right, it's getting late now. It's about 1:17 a.m. now, and I think that it's time for me to hit the bed. I'll see you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.